prepare to journey into the shadows of Jacksonville, Florida, where history bleeds into the present and whispers of the past linger in the night. From abandoned asylums to crumbling cemeteries, these 15 haunted places are home to restless spirits and dark secrets waiting to be uncovered. Are you brave enough to explore their eerie tales? Buckle up. One, Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens, Jacksonville. The damp, earthy scent of moss-laden trees and the distant calls of unseen wildlife create an eerie atmosphere that engulfs Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens as the sun descends, casting long shadows over the hallowed grounds, once simply a place of wonder for families and eager children. Local whispers swirl about the zoo's darker history, suggesting it sits atop a site steeped in tragedy that dates back decades. Some Jacksonville residents speak in hushed tones of shadowy figures seen wandering near the old petting zoo area, where reports of unexplained cold spots and flickering lights plague unsuspecting visitors. Over the years, the zoo has been the unsuspecting host to generations of families. But this facade of joy conceals unsettling legends of early animal husbandry, mishaps, and heartbreak when a beloved zookeeper, known only as Sydney, tragically lost her life during a routine feeding in the late 1990s. Witnesses claimed that her spirit still roams the grounds, drawn inexplicably to her beloved animals, with reports of eerie occurrences spiking around the anniversary of her death. Into the night, unexpected animal behavior juxtaposes tranquil sights. The usually calm flamingos may erupt into chaotic flapping, and the monkeys often seem to communicate with echoes of manic laughter, as though retelling stories of their lost caretaker, though many refuse to tread the path near the old lion enclosure after dark, declaring it cursed. Others, clinging to their curiosity, venture into the gloom for a thrill, armed with nothing more than cell phones and ghost hunting apps. Yet, to the brave souls enticed by thrills, consider this stark warning. The spirits at Jacksonville Zoo do not abide interference, and those who intrude upon their territory may find themselves followed home, plagued by dreams of sorrowful faces and mournful calls from the shadows. For the unwary, the ghostly echoes of long-lost souls whisper a haunting reminder that some doors, once opened, are never meant to be closed. Two, Kingsley Plantation, Jacksonville. Nestled quietly on the banks of the street, Johns River, Kingsley Plantation in Jacksonville stands as a haunting testament to dark history and forgotten lives, its crumbling tabby ruins cloaked in Spanish moss and shadow. This verdant landscape, once teeming with the desperate hopes of those held in bondage, now murmurs whispers of a past steeped in sorrow. Locals have long shared chilling tales of manifestations that echo the plantation's grim legacy, with many insisting they've seen ethereal figures wandering the grounds, particularly around the crumbling slave quarters, their sad eyes reflecting an anguish that transcends time. The plantation, built in the 18th century, served as a site of terror and heartache, where enslaved Africans labored under brutal conditions, stripped of humanity to sustain the wealthy Kingsley family. Eyewitness accounts recount how, when the moon is high, spectral forms emerge from the thicket, shadowy figures believed to be the spirits of enslaved individuals who suffered unspeakable injustices, still tethered to the land that constrained them. Historians have noted the tragic death of many slaves, including children, due to diseases and harsh punishments, with the plantation's very soil seemingly saturated with their enduring grief. The anguish is not forgotten. It has manifested into an eerie presence, often reported by visitors and ghost hunters alike who describe sudden shifts in temperature, disembodied voices calling out, and a palpable sense of sorrow lingering in the air. The chilling reality of Kingsley Plantation is entwined with a stark warning. Tread carefully, for the echoes of the past may not be so easily dismissed. The restless souls of those who once roamed these grounds are ever watchful, waiting for the curious and the unwary to invade their sanctum. To those who dare venture into this haunted realm, remember, some histories are clutched tightly by the living, and the past has a way of reaching back to reclaim what was lost. Three, Ritz Theater and Museum, Jacksonville. In the heart of Jacksonville, Florida, the Ritz Theater and Museum stands as a relic of both the glamorous and the grotesque, where echoes of laughter intermingle with the whispers of the dead. Built in 1929, this Art Deco gem was once the cornerstone of the African American community's cultural life, an oasis of entertainment during the segregated era. Yet, beneath the vibrant facade lies a haunting tapestry of sorrow and supernatural occurrences that envelop those who dare to tread its abandoned halls after dark. Locals speak of the ghost of a former performer, a young woman who met a tragic end in a fire during a disastrous show, a calamity that snuffed out her life and the dreams of many who attended that fateful night. Eyewitness accounts describe her lingering presence, often seen in white dresses, dancing gracefully across the stage, her mournful cries echoing in the corners. The Ritz is not just a theater, it is a mausoleum of memories, where lost spirits swirl within the air, their stories encoded in the wood and porcelain. Staff and visitors have reported the chilling sensation of being watched, cold spots that descend upon them, and strange sounds that pierce the stillness, a disembodied voice calling for help, and the unmistakable strains of jazz drifting from an unseen performance. These phenomena seem to intensify as the clock strikes midnight, beckoning the curious and the brave. If you ever find yourself drawn to the Ritz, know this: the specters of the past are waiting. And while you may enter with innocent intentions, a warning echoes through the ages once you step into their world. You may never fully leave, haunted by visions and voices that were never meant for the living. This place is not merely a glimpse into history. It is a threshold to the unknown, and each visit may draw you closer to embrace a fate reserved for those who dance too close to the flame. Four, Florida Theater, Jacksonville. In the sultry heart of Jacksonville, the Florida Theater stands as both a testament to the roaring 1920s and a mausoleum of forgotten stories, its opulent facade draped in creeping vines and shadows. Beneath the flickering neon lights, locals whisper of unsettling occurrences, tales bordering on the supernatural that envelop this cultural landmark. Operated since its grand opening in 1927, the theater was a lavish venue for silent films and stage performances. But as patrons reveled in the artistry, the spirit of tragedy lingered in the air. Folklore reveals that it was not long after its inception that a series of unexplained happenings began. Cold spots in the lobby, the echo of phantom applause, and even sightings of a spectral figure, rumored to be the spirit of a long-departed usher. This entity is said to manifest most vividly during the theater's late-night screenings, leaving audiences both bewildered and spellbound. The spectral activity may be linked to a tragic event in the theater's history. Indeed, in 1949, a catastrophic fire broke out in the basement, resulting in the deaths of several workers. The flames engulfed the theater, and though it was rebuilt, some believe the souls of those lost remain tethered to the site. Over the years, countless accounts from staff and visitors have surfaced, describing disembodied whispers, flickering lights, and, more disturbingly, the sensation of being watched. One of the most chilling encounters involved a theater manager who reported feeling an icy breath on his neck while closing up for the night, a phenomenon corroborated by multiple witnesses. The evidence, documented in an array of photographs and testimonies, creates a tapestry of eerie experiences that paint a vivid picture of a space caught between life and death. As the allure of the theater continues to draw audiences, heed this warning. If you dare to step inside the Florida theater, remember that the line between the living and the dead is but a whisper away. You may be entertained, but you may also find yourself sharing the spotlight with the restless spirits who refuse to leave. Old Street, Andrews Church, Jacksonville. In the heart of Jacksonville, Florida, cradled amidst the gnarled oaks and thick, humid air, lies the Old Street, Andrews Church, a dilapidated structure that whispers of forgotten tales under the haunting glow of a waning moon. The church, built in the late 1800s, has long captured the attention of locals, not just for its architectural beauty, but for the chilling rumors that swirl around its shadowy halls. Many claim the church is a vortex of sorrow, a reflection of the tragedies that have unfolded within its walls. The tales begin in 1940, when a devastating fire ravaged the building, claiming the lives of a beloved priest and several parishioners gathered for evening prayers, their echoes forever laced with grief. Witness accounts abound, detailing spectral figures appearing in the bell tower and forlorn wails echoing through the crumbling nave, giving birth to a deeply rooted fear that the church is haunted by the souls of the departed. Investigation undertaken by local paranormal teams has revealed compelling evidence. Temperature drops, unexplained shadows, and the chilling sound of whispering voices resonating within the church grounds. Some even speak of their experiences with possessions, objects moving without explanation, and the feeling of unseen hands pressing against their shoulders as they tread softly on the rotting pews. Yet, despite the accumulated evidence of spectral phenomena, the church stands silently abandoned, a relic of bygone devotion turned vessel for despair. The machinery of fear, however, doesn't just rest in the death tally. It festers in the noise pollution of long-lost prayers, intermingled with the cries of those trapped by their past. Yet for the thrill-seekers and the dubious skeptics, a stark warning looms: be cautious during your explorations of Old Street, Andrews, for it is not merely a place of haunting, but a testament to the lives lost and the spirits wandering. Engaging with the spectral remnants may stir the very essence of their sorrow, awakening a darkness best left undisturbed. The old church, grand yet forlorn, serves as a ghostly reminder that some tragedies are never meant to be forgotten. Six, Evergreen Cemetery, Jacksonville. In the heart of Jacksonville, there lies a hallowed ground, cloaked in a veil of shadow and sorrow, Evergreen Cemetery. As twilight descends, the damp air thickens with unease, each whisper of the wind echoing the mournful cries of souls long departed. This graveyard, established in 1880 and resting upon ancient Ocklawaha river banks, holds not only the remains of Jacksonville's prominent citizens, but also the restless spirits of those whose tragic stories haunt the living. Local legend ties Evergreen Cemetery to ghostly apparitions that wander the moss-draped trees, with tales murmuring of the Lady in Black, a weeping figure who is said to search for her lost child. The sheer weight of grief within the cemetery has drawn both the curious and the fearful, luring visitors to experience inexplicable chills and phantom embraces from the other side. Visitors recount encounters with shadowy figures and hear damp footsteps trailing behind them, only to turn and find desolation. The legendary stories seem more vivid when one learns of the 1888 yellow fever epidemic that claimed hundreds, including a number of children buried in forlorn, unmarked graves. It is here that the spectral children are reported to dance among the headstones, their laughter echoing with an eerie twist, while the anguished cries of the lady in black pierce the night. Many amateur ghost hunters armed with EVP recorders have arrived, only to collect whispers and moans, a testament to the cemetery's tragic past and the souls unable to find peace. For the brave, the allure of Evergreen Cemetery's haunted majesty begs to be embraced. Yet fortitude is essential. Entering means confronting not just memories inscribed upon marble tablets, but the heavy presence of lingering sorrow. Consider this a warning. As you tread upon hallowed ground, be prepared, for some spirits do not take kindly to visitors disturbing their eternal rest. Seven. Mayport Lighthouse, Jacksonville. The Mayport Lighthouse stands sentinel against the jagged coastline of Jacksonville, its weather-beaten structure rising starkly against the indigo horizon. It is a pivot between ocean and land, a beacon that has guided sailors since its construction in 1858. But while its light lives on, shadows linger as whispers of lost souls echo through the salt-kissed air. Local legend holds that the lighthouse is haunted by the spirit of a young keeper who tragically drowned while rescuing a shipwrecked crew. Witnesses have often reported the haunting sound of a foghorn where no foghorn exists, as well as glimpses of a spectral figure clad in uniform roaming the rocky shore, lantern in hand, searching for what was lost. The history of the Mayport Lighthouse is steeped in tales of danger and despair, a crucial marker for vessels navigating the treacherous waters of the St. John's River. It has seen countless ships meet their doom. Stories tell of the downtrodden lighthouse keepers, isolated from the mainland yet burdened by their responsibilities. Amidst the endless stretch of tides, the cries of those who perished at sea seem to haunt its very foundation. In the late 19th century, a massive storm claimed the lives of several fishermen, their boat capsizing just beyond the light's reach. A tragedy that left a permanent scar on the community, and perhaps a lingering presence. Those brave enough to approach the lighthouse have shared chilling experiences. Sudden drops in temperature, the inexplicable feeling of being watched, and, in some cases, shadowy figures flickering at the corner of one's eye. Lore suggests that on stormy nights, you can hear the overwhelmed cries of sailors lost at sea merging with the howling wind. Approach the Mayport Lighthouse, yet heed this warning. Some doors, once opened, might never close, and not all spirits are resigned to their fate. The invitation of the unknown can sometimes be a siren's call with dire consequences, especially for those who venture too close to the dark waters of despair. 8. Old City Cemetery, Jacksonville. In the heart of Jacksonville, where moss-draped oaks stand sentinel over time-worn stones, the Old City Cemetery looms like a whisper from the past, casting an eerie pall over all who dare tread its grounds. Locals speak of the cemetery in hushed tones, weaving tales of apparitions that flit between headstones and the unsettling sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. Established in 1821, this sacred resting place harbors the remains of countless souls, including war veterans, prominent citizens, and the forgotten, each marking the undulating waves of Jacksonville's tumultuous history. Among the stories that linger like the fog, one stands out: a tragedy that envelops the grave of a young girl named Margaret, whose life was cut short by a fever in 1888. Folklore tells of her spirit, often appearing as a fleeting figure in a white gown, searching for her beloved doll, a cherished companion she never had the chance to leave behind. Witnesses have reported cold spots and ethereal laughter in the stillness, alongside the faint echoes of a child's cries that ripple through the air when twilight falls. Investigations into the grounds have unveiled peculiar phenomena. Digital cameras mysteriously malfunction near her grave, and orbs of light shimmer where Margaret is believed to roam. Some adventurers have left toys at her site, while others claim to have felt the weight of her presence linger long after they depart. Entering the old city cemetery demands a certain reverence, for it is a place where boundaries between this world and the next grow thin. If you choose to visit, be warned. To disturb the slumber of those laid to rest can invite unfathomable consequences, and perhaps one fateful night. You too may find yourself in the company of spirits still clinging to their earthly ties. The echoes of the past linger heavily here. Tread carefully, for you may never leave the same. 9. Confederate Park, Springfield Park, Jacksonville. Beneath the canopy of ancient oaks draped in haunting Spanish moss, Confederate Park in Jacksonville holds an unsettling presence that seems to whisper forgotten secrets to the night. The park, a transformed space of beauty, was once a vital part of the Confederate legacy during the Civil War, serving not just as a recreational area, but also as a location steeped in the hushed tones of despair and conflict. Local whispers have long festered about the area, suggesting that the ghosts of soldiers linger among the trees, their stories entwined with the sorrow of the park's history. Residents recall chilling encounters, an inexplicable coldness sweeping through the park as dusk falls, strange murmurs carried by the wind, and shadowy figures that roam the grounds, beckoning the curious and the brave. For years, visitors have spoken of an eerie figure resembling a young soldier, clad in tattered gray, spotted weeping near the water's edge. Legend has it that he was one of many who suffered a tragic fate during the war, losing his life in battle only to find himself eternally wandering the land he once fought for. Witnesses describe a palpable sense of sorrow in his presence, as if he is searching for something or someone lost in the depths of time. Paranormal investigators have set up equipment in the park, capturing unexplained anomalies, sudden drops in temperature and shadowy movements captured on film, leading to heightened suspicions that the ghostly soldier is not merely a figment of imagination, but an actual lost spirit. But take heed, for those who wander too deep into Confederate Park's shadowed groves may find more than they bargained for. The air thickens with a sense of dread, and the park, so serene by day, transforms into an unsettling labyrinth of history by night. The call of the lost soldier reverberates in the silence, inviting the curious to learn his story, yet challenging them to confront the specters of their own past. 10. Carling Hotel, now Carling Apartments, Jacksonville. The Carling Hotel, now repurposed as Carling Apartments in Jacksonville, stands as an architecturally stunning relic of the 1920s. Its once vibrant facade now faded and weathered. Hiding dark secrets within its walls, locals whisper of an underlying malaise surrounding its corridors, where shadows seem to dance with a life of their own, unsettling the souls of tenants and daring them to uncover the dreadful history that clings to the air like a thick fog. Originally constructed in 1925, this bustling hotel quickly became a refuge for luxury seekers and travelers. But beneath its glamorous surface lay a cacophony of tragedy and despair that lingered long after its golden years faded away. It is said that during the Great Depression, the hotel witnessed a series of unfortunate events that sent ripples of sorrow through its halls, a flurry of suicides, economic ruin for its dedicated workers, and ghostly apparitions of guests long departed. A particularly haunting tale ripples through the community, recounting the tragic story of a young woman who, driven to madness by heartache and despair, leapt from the balcony of the penthouse suite. Residents describe hearing her mournful cries echoing through the hallway late into the night, as if she remains trapped between worlds, seeking closure that eludes her restless spirit. Others have claimed to see flickering lights and sudden temperature drops, coinciding with the appearance of a pale figure, dressed in vintage attire, wandering through the halls of the old hotel as the sun sets and darkness swallows the streets. Anyone considering a visit or prolonged stay at the Carling should prepare themselves for the inexplicable. The building's facade may be charming, but inside lies an unshakable sense of unease, where the past refuses to be buried. Those without a healthy respect for its forgotten ghosts may find themselves a target of the very tragedies that haunt its corridors, as echoes of sorrow intertwine with the living, forever reminding us that some walls bear witness to fates we cannot fathom. (11) The Annie Lytle Public School number 4, Jacksonville. In the heart of Jacksonville, shrouded by a veil of dense, haunting fog, the crumbling edifice of the Annie Lytle Public School looms ominously, a decaying testament to the city's forgotten past. Built in 1910, this abandoned structure, known as Public School number 4, has long become a canvas for chilling whispers and ghostly narratives that circulate among local residents. Eerie tales of supernatural occurrences emanate from its hollow corridors and shattered windows, where the echoes of children's laughter have long been replaced by a chilling silence. Rumors have circulated for decades about the tragic history that clings to the building like a shadow. It was once a bustling place of learning, until the city abandoned it in 2010, leaving behind a lingering sense of loss and despair. Locals speak of the spirits of children who roamed its halls, some believing they are trapped in a loop of perpetual schooling, never allowed to leave. The most haunting legend involves a young girl named Mary, who, it is said, mysteriously vanished during a school day in the 1920s, her fate remaining unknown. Visitors have reported hearing her soft cries and the sound of tiny footsteps echoing through the dilapidated classrooms, suggesting that her spirit remains tethered to the living world. Paranormal investigators have flocked to the site, capturing unexplained phenomena on recordings: disembodied voices, faint laughter, and flickering lights in rooms where no electricity exists. The air thickens with an unshakable dread as the sun slips below the horizon, revealing the specter of sorrow that hangs heavy in the night. As enticing as this place may be for the adventurous, a tangible foreboding lingers, a stark warning. The spirits of the Annie Lytle Public School may not be inviting you to explore, but instead warning you to leave. For those who dare step inside, the chance of becoming part of the building's haunting history looms disturbingly large, reminding us that some stories are best left untold. Hemming Plaza, James Weldon Johnson Park, Jacksonville. In the heart of Jacksonville lies Hemming Plaza, once known as the vibrant hub of the city, now cloaked in an eerie silence that whispers of echoes from the past. This public park, officially named James Weldon Johnson Park, serves not only as a gathering place for the living, but also as a solemn reminder of the countless souls who have traversed its grounds over the years. Locals speak in hushed tones about the unsettling shadows that dance between the trees at dusk, and the melancholic whispers that ride the evening breeze, suggesting a lingering presence that refuses to leave. The plaza holds many secrets, but none so chilling as those tied to its tragic history. In the early 1900s, when the plaza was a bustling center for social gatherings, it was also a site of profound racial tension and unrest. As the civil rights movement began to stir, the park witnessed protests, confrontations, and, ultimately, bloodshed. The spirit of the disenfranchised has since become an indelible part of Hemming Plaza's landscape. Reports of mysterious figures wandering along the pathways, and an unnatural cold that envelops certain areas, have become part of the local lore. Visitors to the park often recount feelings of an unseen weight, as if being watched by a legion of lost souls. One particularly harrowing incident involved a group of teenagers who were drawn to the plaza one fateful night. They claimed to have encountered a spectral figure clad in white, whose mournful cries echoed through the trees, beckoning them closer before vanishing in an instant. Those who dare to enter Hemming Plaza must remember, the spirits of the past are not easily quelled. The chilling aura that pervades this park leaves a warning etched into the very air. Step lightly. Respect the ground beneath your feet, for not all are content to linger in silence. Some may seek to share their pain with the living. "13. Taco Lou, the Old Homestead, Jacksonville. In the dim glow of a flickering street lamp, the aging facade of Taco Lou, formerly known as the Old Homestead, stands as a silent guardian of the haunting tales that permeate the air around it in Jacksonville, Florida. On any ordinary evening, the tantalizing aroma of sizzling tortillas and spices wafts through the air, masking the undeniable chill that lingers just beneath the vibrant atmosphere. However, as locals gather for their favorite Mexican fare, an unsettling aura seems to shadow the crowd, punctuated by whispered legends that speak of a tragic history and disembodied spirits that refuse to depart. Originally built in the late 1800s, the Old Homestead served as a residence for families who suffered through the tumultuous upheavals of the Civil War, leaving behind echoes of heartbreak and loss. Over the decades, reports of ghostly apparitions rose, with patrons and staff alike describing encounters with a spectral woman dressed in a tattered period gown, believed to be the spirit of a grieving widow who lost her husband in the war. Subtle anomalies occur frequently. Glasses inexplicably crash to the floor, fleeting shadows dart past in the periphery, and cold drafts seem to materialize out of nowhere. The tragic weight of past lives clings heavily to the building, and even the walls appear to tell stories of anguish and longing. Yet, as you consider dining within these haunted walls, take heed. The spirits tethered to this space demand recognition, their sorrow laced into each visit. Those brave enough to explore the restaurant after hours often experience not just chills, but a pervasive sense that something unseen observes from the shadows, waiting. It breathes life into the darkness entrenched in this historic venue, should you choose to dine amongst these restless souls. Remember, you may leave with more than just a full stomach. The echoes of their past may haunt you long after the last taco is served. Tread wisely, for the boundaries between the living and the dead grow thin within these walls. "14. The Gray House, Jacksonville. The Gray House, Jacksonville, a haunting legacy. On the dimly lit streets of Jacksonville, one home looms larger than life, shrouded in a blanket of myth and whispers, the Gray House. Locals speak of its weathered facade, a ghostly shadow of the past, where the cries of lost souls echo through the manicured lawns and the hushed conversations. Built in the late 19th century, this Victorian structure became a silent witness to dark secrets, embodying a narrative of tragedy that would ripple through generations. The rumors began when it was said that the original owner, a wealthy widower named Thomas Gray, lost his wife under mysterious circumstances. Heartbroken and consumed by grief, he became a recluse, believed to conduct sorrowful rituals in a desperate attempt to communicate with her spirit. This atmosphere of despair soon permeated the halls, intertwining their fates so tightly that many attested to feeling her presence lingering in the air, a chill that sweeps through the corridors, whispering her name to all who dared to enter. Eyewitness accounts of apparitions have surfaced over the years, describing a pale woman dressed in Victorian garb, wandering through the rooms, searching for her lost love. The wood beneath her spectral footsteps was said to creak in melancholy harmony, a lament echoed by the house itself. Some paranormal investigators have claimed to capture unexplained sounds on EVPs, soft sobs and anguished cries that seem to emanate from the very walls, suggesting lingering souls trapped in sorrow. However, venturing into the Gray House is not without its dangers. Those brave enough to cross its threshold have reported feelings of oppression, as if the air thickens with the weight of despair, pulling them into an unexplainable darkness. The long-held legend suggests that the longing of the widow is not easily escaped. Thus, heed this haunting warning. To those who covet the thrill of discovery, be prepared, for what you may uncover inside the Gray House could haunt you long after you leave its cursed grounds. (15) San Marco Theater, Jacksonville. In the heart of Jacksonville, the San Marco Theater stands as a relic of the past. Its facade an imposing testament to a time when cinema danced to a different tune. On quiet nights, when the wind whistles through the elegant architecture, whispers of the long-gone echo from its walls, carrying tales of laughter and fear intertwined. Locals speak in hushed tones about the shadowy figures that flit through the lobby and the inexplicable chill that grips the auditorium, as though the spirits of lost patrons linger, unwilling to leave the cinematic oasis they once adored. Constructed in 1927, this grand theater was once a riot of color and sound, drawing in crowds with its Art Deco allure. But as the years rolled on, the vibrant performances dwindled, leaving behind an unsettling void, and the space transformed into a mere ghost of its former glory. Rumors abound that during a particularly rowdy screening of a horror film in the 1970s, a tragic incident unfolded when a young woman mysteriously collapsed in the center aisle, her life extinguished in the very seat where countless others found solace. Since that day, some claim her spirit roams the aisles, longing for a cinematic escape that never came. Reports of unexplained sounds, faint whispers, and rustling seats have surfaced, capturing the attention of ghost hunters and thrill seekers alike. Yet no definitive proof has ever surfaced to explain the ethereal pulses within the building. For the brave souls tempted to seek the supernatural at San Marco, a word of caution: the theater may appear inviting, but the air is thick with an eerie energy that warns of disquieted souls. Whether it's the specter of a young woman searching for her lost dreams, or something altogether darker, those who dare to stay after the lights dim might just find themselves entangled in a chilling narrative that refuses to let go, echoing through the ages long after the final credits roll. And there you have it, the top 15 haunted places in Jacksonville, Florida. Did any of these spooky spots surprise you? If you enjoyed this ghostly journey, don't forget to like and subscribe for more chilling content. And get ready, because in our next video, we'll dive into the eerie legends of the abandoned places scattered across the state. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and stay haunted.